All right, West Michigan down 2-0. Dropped my connection there, and Plymouth put their second goal in. We're on a more stable connection now, though. West Michigan with control neutral zone. Driving in is Poulin. He's taken off the puck. Plymouth off the wall. Now a pass on the near side breakout. Plymouth into the West Michigan zone. Takes it wide. Martzke with good defense. Timpey takes the puck away up the wall for Rocco. Rocco driven off the puck. Chipped into neutral zone by Poulin. Flyers can't clear it. Flyers carried in on the wide side. Shot goes wide. Puck played in the corner. Loose on the wall. Plymouth behind the net. Tried to center a pass, played out. Shot from the circles goes wide. Puck played out to the near side point. Plymouth put it in deep behind the net. A ring around the side, far side. Out to the point man. Shot in on Jabraki. Gets a stick on it into the corner. Timpey played it up the wall, held in by the point. Plymouth wraps it around the net again. Far side corner. Timpey with pressure. Shot in towards net, played by Poulin, and he'll ice the puck. .7:32 left in the first. Plymouth up 2-0. Face off down low in the D zone. Moore, Mitchell, and Smilanich. Timpey and Hooper on defense. Plymouth wins it. They put it back in the corner. Hooper's there. Plays it up the far wall for Mitchell. Mitchell played it towards the middle. Plymouth's there to take control. They'll drive it back in. Behind the net, Hooper played it in the far side corner. Mitchell up the wall for Moore. Moore carries it ahead, cross the red line. Man in his pocket, tried to slide it over for Smilanich, a little too far. Smilanich in the corner, Moore behind the net. Flyers take it away. They'll push it to the far wall, now carry it forward. Through neutral zone, Smilanich pinches at the red line. Flyers carried in, Moore with a stick lift. Gets control, takes a hit from behind. Moore into neutral zone. Mitchell's gonna look for the loose pucks, got it. But he'll curl back, moves it over for Hooper. Hooper far side. Luke down low with it, a shot goes wide. Puck comes out to the near side. Ayler holds it in the zone. Smilanich with a stick on it. Hooper rips it away. Hooper down low for Ayler, just out of his reach. Ayler in the corner. Ayler's pass, cross ice, looking for Mitchell, gets deflected out to neutral. And Bryce Mitchell loops and carries through neutral zone, dumps it in deep, wrapped around the net. Far side corner. Flyers there, up the wall, but Warman holds it there. Ayler pulls it out. Ayler into the corner. Ayler passes to Hooper at the point. Hooper lays it towards net, and that'll be held for the whistle. Ayler on the face-off dot, with Warman and Bateson. Bateson plays it in the corner, behind the net now. Bateson pushed to the near side, out to Kuhn. Kuhn from the wall, shots deflected, bouncing through the air. Kuhn put it in the corner, but the Flyers are there. They play it behind their net, D to D. But Warman in the corner, Flyers on the breakout, held up by Bateson, pushed behind the net again. Bateson crashes down on it, holds it there. Flyers in to help, moved in the corner, now up the wall. Cross-ice pass deflected by Budwarman. He tries to dump it back in off a Flyer. They'll have possession in their end, D to D. They send it back to the near side wall. Flyers now into neutral zone, played up by Kuhn. Budwarman tried to bury it deep. Instead, the Flyers get possession and dumped in deep to the West Michigan zone. Hohendorf wrapped around the wall for Bateson. Goes loose, but Ayler's there. Ayler brought it in deep. Miles into the corner. Sweeps it behind the net. Flyers take possession. Far side. Pass through the middle. Bounces. Loose puck after it's Hohendorf. Puts it in the near side wall. Now picked up by Rocco. Sends a pass cross ice for Poulin, loose in the neutral zone. Moore got a stick on it. Hohendorf in onside, wraps it around the net, near side, Poulin. Poulin in the corner. He gets roughed up, but puts the puck behind the net. Rocco's there. Now Moore's after it. Plymouth tried to out it. Ryan Rocco from the point position, wrapped it around the wall, far side for Tyler, his brother. That was Poulin from the point position, back to the wall for Rocco. Trying to find it in the feet. Flyers will dig it out to neutral zone on the break-in. Poulin disrupted, still in the zone. Rocco tied it up and cleared the zone. Flyers after the loose puck. Poulin pressuring. Poulin causes the turnover. Poulin in the corner, gets it to Rocco in front. Rocco finds it. Oh, Moore's there, tried to get a shot. Couldn't find the grip on it. Loose behind the net. Poulin through the air, up over the net, into the feet, and the Flyers able to push it out of the zone. Pass knocked down. Rocco played it back to neutral, but the Flyers get a grip on it and dump it in deep. They get a change. Pass through the middle off the stick of Berto. Loose puck picked up by Rocco. Rocco carries it in deep, a shot. Oh, I think it went off the post. Puck loose near side wall. Martzke after it. Flyers chip it in the air deep into the West Michigan zone. They'll be the first to retrieve it. Shot in on Jabrocki off the side of the net. Rocco brings it into the wall. Pass in front, played by Poulin. Cross ice pass for Finnerty. Finnerty dumps it in near side corner. Plymouth from the corner, up the near side wall. Pressure by Berto. Berto's got it in the feet, gets it back to Timpy. Timpy's backhand goes deep in the corner. Behind the net, Martzke. Plymouth gets some help down there at the wall. Berto gets it back to Timpy at the point. Timpy from the top of the circle, shots deflected over the net. Loose on the far side. Hooper played it in towards the net, deflected and into the wall. Plymouth high off the glass, icing, arms up. And we'll bring it down for an offensive zone pull. Jake Martzke on the face-off in the offensive zone. Berto and Finnerty out with him. Timpy and Poulin on defense. In the corner, Finnerty digging after it. Pass out into the middle. Taken by West Michigan. This is Berto. Berto turns, puts a shot that's deflected before it got to the goalie. Hooper catches it in neutral zone, dumps it in. Berto's after it. Flyers clear to neutral zone. Timpy presses it there. Tried to dump it in, but played by the Flyers. They send a pass cross ice. Now into the middle, connects. Flyers, shot disrupted by Hooper and held in the zone by the Flyers, deep behind net. Luke Hooper after it. Hooper hard off the wall for Berto. Couldn't get a grip on it. Flyers send it towards the middle. Pass goes deep into the corner. Martzke after it. Now picked up by Hooper. Loose puck. Flyers. Timpy's got a grip. Timpy's pass connects with Finnerty. Finnerty races it ahead. Finnerty shot off the goaltender. Timpy will hold it in the zone far side. Timpy again sends it cross ice, but the Flyers there. Nice job by Finnerty, holds it in the zone. After it now is Mitchell. Mitchell, Moore, and Smilanic are out. Flyers bring it up the wall, held up by Kuhn, loose to Moore. Moore's pass picked off by the Flyers at the blue line. And we'll get a whistle for offsides. .48 seconds left in the period here. Face off, played by West Michigan. Mitchell races after it. Shot in by Kuhn, a save. Rebound cleared out to neutral zone. Hohendorf holds it at the referee's position. Back in the zone, Mitchell. Flyers cleared out. Plymouth chipped around the defender into the West Michigan zone. Moore's after it in the corner, up the wall for Smilanic. played out to neutral zone. Loose puck into the Flyers' end. Mitchell hard after it. Flyers there as well. Mitchell takes it away behind the net, puts it in the corner. Flyers get some help. Mitchell gets it to Moore. Now Mitchell's got it. Feeds a pass out to Kuhn at the point. 3 seconds. Shot off a skate, and that'll do it for the first period. Thank you. Plymouth with the lead, 2 goals in the first period. West Michigan finds themselves in a hole again. Need to generate some offense here. Shots on goal, needs some rebounds. Some break-ins, good passing. A lot of time left on the clock. We're ready to start. Jabrocki back between the pipes. Ayler, Bates, and Bedwarman up top. Kuhn and Hohendorf on defense. Martsky, Bateson, and Bedwarman. West Michigan with the win. I'm sorry, Ayler's out, not Martsky. Puck played out to the point position. Kuhn with a shot on goal, a save. Hohendorf puts it behind the net, far side corner. Kuhn played it back towards the net. Hohendorf banged it behind the net. Flyers there, off the wall. Kuhn tries to hold it at the blue line, comes out, back in through the air. Flyers with possession, high off the glass and deep. Race for the loose puck. Hohendorf, nice move, carries it on the far side wall, up the wall for Bedwarman. Pass to the middle, knocked down by the Flyers and dumped in deep. Oof, good dodge by the referee there. Kuhn's tied up in the corner, puck is loose, Flyers towards the middle, shot, save, rebound, goes through the crease. And Bateson clears, almost clears, does clear, and we'll get an offsides. Little drainage of the clock happened there, so we're at 15:44 in the second period. Face off. Martsky's out with Finnerty and Berto. Rocco on defense with Poulin. Plymouth behind the net. Martsky ties it up. Sticks go through the air. Plymouth at the far wall. Pass out to the point. Back to the wall. Pressured by Finnerty. Pressed into the wall. Martsky digs after it. Along with Poulin. Martsky's got it. Gets a pass to mid-ice. Played back by the Flyers. They'll bang it in deep on the side of the net. Finnerty out the back, far side, off the skate. Played back in the corner, high off the wall, cleared the zone. Flyers dump it in. Delayed offsides. Rocco will have some time. Rocco behind his net, D to Poulin. Poulin to Martsky on the breakout. Jake Martsky races it across the red line, blue line. Martsky takes it wide, down in the corner. Martsky a shot off the side of the net. Berto's got it, near side, he's roughed up. Gets double teamed. Martsky pins the guy up behind the wall. Puck tied up and now moved out by the Flyers. Flyers through the middle, chipped back out, far side, blue line. Martsky feeds it to Rocco, into the feet, in the zone. Flyers push it in deep. Rocco pushes the play into the corner. Pass out in the middle off Berto's skate. Played back in by the Flyers, near side, shot, save, rebound. Couldn't get a good shot off it. Rocco sends it up the wall. Loose for Finnerty on the skate, gets it to Martzke. Martzke back for Finnerty, just behind him, but Finnerty gathers. Loose, dumped in, delayed offsides. Plymouth with possession. West Michigan gets a little bit of a change. Plymouth in the zone, shot on Jabrocki, a save, rebound cleared to the wall. Pass into the middle, off his skate, now Moore carries it. Moore up the middle looking for Poulin through his legs, and we'll get an icing whistle. Two to 0, 13:45 left in the second period. Face off in the D zone. Moore is out with Rocco and Poulin. Timpey and Hooper on defense. Plymouth dumps it in. Hooper from the near side corner, up the wall for Rocco. A little bit of space. Plymouth plays it back in deep. Hooper from behind his own goal. Hooper had it punched off his stick. Moore's got it now. Far side corner. His pass deflected. Plymouth with a shot in on Rocco, and he makes the glove save for the whistle. Mitchell, Smilanich, and Martzke come out on top. Hooper and Timpey on defense. Jake Martzke on the face-off dot. Wins the draw, over for Hooper. Hooper clears the zone to Mitchell. Mitchell drives it far side. Mitchell dumps it in deep. Wrapped around the goaltender to the near side corner. Smilanich pinches it. Martzke holds it at the wall, back in the corner. Martzke and Smilanich. Plymouth, though, pulls it behind their net. And now a breakout on the far side. Martzke gets a grip, dumps it back in deep behind the net. Puck rattles around to the near corner. Smilanich crashing down. Outlet pass picked up by Mitchell. Shot towards net's deflected behind the net. Flyers with possession behind their goal. Pressured by Smilanich. Now to the near side. Pass up the middle. That puck's rolling on its edge all the way length to the ice. Icing arms up. Then they wave it off. Long range pass for Smilanich. He deflects it deep. Plymouth from behind their own goal. Smilanich. Turnover for Mitchell. Mitchell back to Smilanich. Smilanich in the feet. Moves it behind the net. Hard after it's in the far corner is Mitchell. Mitchell pressed into the wall. Martzke in to help. Martzke to Smilanich behind the goal line. Back up the far side wall, and Plymouth has some room. On the breakout, they chip off the boards in deep. Behind Jabrocki. Hooper with possession. Hooper cycles it back for Timpey. Timpey finds it in the feet, carries it back near side. Got it to Bateson at the wall. Bateson peels it back into the corner. Plymouth there. Now they've got possession behind the net. Plymouth carries out, pass out in front, shot goes wide. Timpey pulls it in the near corner. Bateson, now Plymouth behind the net, pressure by Hooper. Plymouth with behind the net, centering pass, cleared out by Timpey. Martzke's there, sends it through the air, length of the ice. In on the goaltender. Bateson pressuring, Plymouth breaks it out as West Michigan gets a change. Puck loose, but Flyers there at the red line, they dump it in, shallow, Hooper, over for Bidwarman. Bidwarman carries it ahead, onside. Bidwarman, shot on goal, that's gloved for the whistle. Ayler, Bateson, Bidwarman, Hohendorf, and Kuhn. Offensive zone draw. Tied up in the feet. Ayler sends it into the wall. Plymouth plays it in the corner. Now back up the far wall, rides the rail. Kuhn got his foot on it, but now Plymouth moved it out. They've got a 2-on-1. Plymouth on the wide side, pass down low into Jabrocki, and he'll hold for the whistle. Ayler sends the face-off into the wall. Hohendorf, now Plymouth pulls it behind the net. They'll carry it far side, pass off the wall to the point man. Shot in towards Jabrocki, off a player. Plymouth cycles it behind the net. After it is Kuhn, skates behind his own goal, stops, carries it back near side. Pressured though, gets it to Bateson. Bateson got it to Ayler. Ayler cleared the zone. Plymouth goes D to D in the neutral zone, then dumps it back in deep behind Jabrocki. Chasing after it is Hohendorf. Backhand pass over for Kuhn. Kuhn's pass to Ayler connects. Ayler's pass for Bidwarman goes long. Flyers got a stick on it. Loose at the blue line. Hohendorf chips. Kuhn dumps it deep. Icing arms up, and we'll bring it down for a defensive zone draw. Moore out there with Rocco and Carson Poulin. On defense, Rocco and Carson and Caden Poulin both out. Carson on defense, Caden on offense. Slap shot in from the point, and that's gloved by Jabrocki. Moore on the draw in the D zone. Plymouth wins, shot, and they score right off the face-off. Plymouth sent one through traffic. Not sure Jabrocki saw it. And Plymouth takes a 3-0 lead. Martzke out with Finnerty and Berto. Timpey and Hooper on defense. Plymouth played it in the West Michigan zone. Timpey's pass through mid-ice hits Finnerty. Finnerty carries it in, wide side, dumps it in deep. Played around the near side for Berto in the corner. Shot it on goal, a save. Comes out to the point, Hooper's shot off a skate. Hooper catches it at the blue line, dumps it far side. Martzke will be there. Martzke tried to feed a backhand in front, picked off by the Flyers. And they've got a break. Timpey got a stick on it. Flyers push it ahead. Hooper got a stick, drops for a Flyer player, and he puts a shot on Jabrocki. And he makes a good glove save. Smilich, Mitchell, and Moore come out on top. Timpey and Hooper on D. Face off Timpey behind his net. Over for Hooper on the near side corner. Hooper's pass in the middle, off Moore's stick. Played by Smilich in the zone. Flyers though with possession, up the wall with it. Hooper's there. Smilich's backhand, played by the Flyers. Flyers pass bounces through the zone, icing waved off, deep, Timpey. Timpey into the corner with it, he's double teamed. Moore will come in to help. Puck moved up the wall, Mitchell with a stick on it. Plymouth pulls it back in the corner, off of Moore's skate. At the wall with it, Plymouth pass back to the point. Plymouth skates it ahead, pass back to the wall, now down low, behind the net. Moore pressuring along with Timpey. Puck loose on the near side. Plymouth off the wall back to the point man. Back to the wall with it. Moore ties it up. Smilich got a stick on it but held in the zone. Smilich now clears into neutral. Flyers with a stick on it. Loose in the neutral zone. Flyers Push ahead, Flyers loose. Plymouth a shot in on Jabrocki, and he makes the save. Ayler, Bateson, and Bedwarman up top. Kuhn and Hohendorf on D. Face off, put into the wall. Battling is Kuhn. Comes loose for Ayler. Ayler's cross ice pass picked off. Flyers put a shot deflected off the back glass. Ayler behind the net. He's got it up the wall for Bedwarman. Plymouth point man played it, deflected back behind the back wall. Kuhn sends a backhand far side. Plymouth sends a centering pass picked off by Hohendorf. Hohendorf out for Bedwarman, 3-on-2. Bedwarman tried to find Hohendorf down low, and we'll get a penalty. No penalty. Hohendorf went into the net. Just not sure what interference is when you've got contact on a player who doesn't have the puck, but might have been neutral interference as the ref saw it. So we'll get an offensive zone draw. Ayler there for the pull. Tied up in the feet. Bedwarman trying to find it. Plymouth's got a grip on it. Flyers out to neutral zone with it. Now rush it in near side. Down low on Jabrocki, kick save, rebound, cleared by Bateson. To the wall with it. Ayler, Plymouth's pass out to the point, shot in on Jabrocki, a glove save, and a whistle. Poulin, Rocco, and Moore up top. Rocco and Poulin on defense. Plymouth wins the draw. Shot in from the point off the post. Rocco up the wall. Goes long. Point man plays it back to the wall. Plymouth with possession. Rocco with a stick lift from behind, but Plymouth got a shot and deflects up into the back net. Defensive zone draw. Evan Moore on the face-off dot. Tied up in the feet. Now played by Rocco. Rocco played it in the middle. Poulin, tried to leave it for Moore. Instead, Plymouth got a stick on it and banged it in deep. Rocco from behind his own goal, plays it in the far corner for his brother. Up the wall, Plymouth holds it there. Moore rushes in on it. Plymouth pulls it out in the middle, shot goes wide. Plymouth near side, pressured by Rocco. In the feet, Moore up the wall for Poulin. Poulin off the wall, icing arms up. Martzke on the face-off, Berto and Finnerty up front. Timpey and Hooper on defense. Face-off won by Plymouth, shot in from the point, glove by Jabrocki for the whistle. Jake Martzke on the face-off dot in the D zone. Martzke wins it to Hooper. Hooper wraps it around for Finnerty. Finnerty's pass, played by Plymouth, now clears the zone for Berto. Berto takes it wide. Berto into the corner, now behind the net. He's tried to center a pass. Martzke gloves it, holds it in the zone. Berto in to help. Tied up here. Berto using the body to hold it in the zone. Marsky trying to kick it ahead. Held in the zone. Plymouth takes some whacks at it. Nice scrum here on the wall. Berto. And we'll get a whistle. Coincidental minor calls here on Berto and a Plymouth skater roughing it up on the wall. Offensive zone draw. On comes Mitchell, Moore, and Smilanich. Hooper and Timpey on D. West Michigan needs to get on the board here. 3-0 in the second. Show some life. Face off. Mitchell at the wall, played towards the middle. Flyers pull it behind their net. Smilanich racing into the corner, lays a hit, loose on the wall. Moore takes a whack at it, loose. Mitchell's got it. Mitchell down low, shot deflected into the near side. Plymouth backhands, can't get it out. Hooper's shot goes deflected into the glass. Timpey played it towards net. Flyers send it length to the ice. And icing waved off as Hooper plays it hard around the wall. Takes a carom though into the middle. Plymouth with possession. They'll put it back into the wall near side. Point man comes down, shot in on Jabraki, saved. Hooper with the puck, sends it for Mitchell, held up by the referee. Mitchell brings it back in his zone for Hooper. Hooper over for Timpey. Timpey cross ice looking for more, loose puck. Flyers with it in their own end. Now they pull back into the West Michigan zone. Deep in the far corner. Up the wall with it, pass back to the point. Flyers send it back to the wall. Now behind the net. He's trying to set up a shot in the middle. Good job by the defense to deflect that out. Flyers get it in the neutral zone. They'll send a pass at the red line, connects. On the back check though is Timpey. Flyers got a stick on it. Into the wall. Flyers into the zone with it. Smilanich cleared it. Flyers dump it cross ice. Timpey behind his own net with possession. Flyers get a change. Timpey's pass picked off by the Flyers right in the middle. Timpey though gets it back, moves it to Mitchell. Mitchell over for Timpey. Timpey takes it wide, down low into the corner. Pressed into the wall, Mitchell in to help. Ayler on the outside. Timpey and Mitchell held up into the wall. Now it comes out, Ayler behind his net, pressured by the Flyers, and they pull it out. Flyers pass off a skate in neutral zone. Mitchell gets control, onside, good job. Ayler played it in deep. Flyers will get a whistle. And West Michigan gets their first power play of the game. A penalty called on the Flyers just as Berto comes out from the coincidental minor. A slashing call on the Flyers. Martzke, Bidwarman, and Bateson out for West Michigan. Kuhn and Hohendorf on defense. Power play time, time to score. Sorry, that's Ayler at the faceoff, not Martzke. Flyers get possession, they'll dump it off their own player here at neutral zone, and he'll skate it around. Down low, great play by Hohendorf, sends it into the wall. Ayler digs it out, skates forward now. Ayler at the wall, red line. Cross ice pass for Kuhn off his skates and played back deep by the Flyers. Bidwarman from behind his own goal. Gathers speed, sends it near side for Bateson. Bateson, drop pass for Hohendorf, taken away by the Flyers. Bateson, pass into the middle, shot on Jabraki, a save, beautiful save. Sorry about that. Flyers with possession, they dump it in deep on the penalty kill. Hohendorf behind the net, carries it out near side. Hohendorf, pass up for Bateson. Bateson drives in at the wall, drop pass, Flyers there. Played by Kuhn, back in deep, and we'll get an icing whistle. Rocco, Poulin, and Moore up front. Poulin and Rocco on defense. Power play West Michigan. Puck in the feet, now pushed over for Rocco. Tyler Rocco tried to get through the defense, into the wall it goes. Rocco ties it up, Poulin in to help. Poulin from the corner with it. Centers it for Moore, shot just wide. Poulin behind the net. Poulin's got it. Leaves it for Rocco. Rocco back to the near side. Centers a pass, no one home. And the Flyers send it deep. Ryan Rocco retrieves. 20 seconds left in the power play. Poulin's pass to the middle, connects with Rocco. Rocco carries it in wide. Down low behind the net. Tyler Rocco, roughed up, but he keeps control. Tyler Rocco at the wall. Leaves it for Moore. Moore down low in the corner. Gets it to Poulin at the point. Poulin, cross ice for Poulin. This is Carson Poulin, shot towards net, goes wide, and the goaltender gets a glove on it. 5-on-5 as the penalty kill successful for the Flyers. 35 seconds left in the second period. Out comes Martsky, Finnerty, and Berto. Poulin and Rocco on D. This is Berto with a shot and save by the goaltender right off the faceoff. We'll do it again. Martsky on the dot. Tied it up. Flyers pull it out. Flyers carry it on the wide side. Rocco pressuring behind the net. Pass out in front goes all the way through. Finnerty pulls it. Finnerty up the wall for Berto. Berto's long-range pass. Icing waved off. Flyers behind their own net. Martsky after it. Flyers off the wall. Goes loose for Rocco. 5 seconds on the clock. Back for Finnerty. Finnerty held there at the blue line. And that whistle, or that buzz, means we've ended our second period. Plymouth with the 3-0 lead as we go to the third period. The ice is going to get cleaned. So if you need to hit the bathroom or get something else to drink, we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes.
kind of like my brother is not a real doctor.
I have a brother on this side. He's a physicist. That's like you're not. If anyone would know, you can do anything close to say.
Joe Biden is more a doctor than me.
You can fix it in the MRI machine.
What gives me this?
Grad school? You have to go to the doctor program.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my friends got their doctors at Cambridge with their Fulbright scholars. So I'm like, I would call the happy to call them doctors because they're the smartest freaking people I know. Well, it's the people that assist others. They don't actually go and press the facts.
Looks like a motivated group of skaters coming out, right? Let's go, boys, fire up.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Back at Suburban Ice Arena in Lansing, Michigan. Third period set to begin in Game 2 of the MAHA State Tournament. Plymouth Flyers lead 3-0. West Michigan looking to turn the tide here in the third period. Third game tomorrow, a little bit later in the day, 4:30. West Michigan set to take on the Michigan Legacy, I believe. Legacy team winning their first game, I think. Losing their first game, I don't know. We'll see. 5 teams in this division, only 2 move on to the quarterfinals Sunday. West Michigan not in a good spot right now, already 0-1 in the tournament, down 3-0. Maybe playing for pride tomorrow. Let's hope not. 4 goals to win. These teams can tie. That will help no one. Moore, Smilanich, and Finnerty start us out. Puck played into the Plymouth zone behind the net. Smilanich pressures. Loose to Finnerty. Finnerty feathered it back behind the net. Plymouth there. Moore sweeps in, dumps it behind the net. Plymouth, though, chipped to the far corner. Now a pass through the air, length to the ice, and we'll bring it back down for an offensive zone draw. lose a connection, but we're back. Puck played near side. Berto. Hooper with a stick on it. Shot in on goal. Into the corner. Martzke after it. Berto and Martzke now played around to the near side. Poulin sinks down, gets around him. Plymouth carries it into the West Michigan zone. Hooper stops him there. Pass comes out, loose, played by Bryce Mitchell. Mitchell carries it ahead. Mitchell just off his stick. Flyers get a grip on it, send it back into the West Michigan zone. Ryan Rocco with possession. Rocco through neutral zone, red line, blue line. Rocco down low in the corner, puts it off the side of the net, loose. Mitchell's gonna find the puck, shot, deflected. Oh, and we get a player down. Puck. Looks like it hit a player. He's up off his feet though. Bateson, Moore, and Ayler now come out. A little bit of a line change up here in the third. Rocco and Carson Poulin on defense. Offensive zone draw. Plymouth got a stick on it in the zone. Now they get a backhand through neutral. Carson Poulin chases it down. Poulin's pass through the middle, picked off by Plymouth. Pushed ahead, Plymouth in, down low on Jabrocki. Good job by Poulin on the back check. Loosens the puck up for Ayler. Ayler cross ice for Bateson through the air. Deflects into the goaltender and he'll glove for the whistle. Face off, played by Plymouth off the wall to neutral zone. Rocco back up the wall for Moore. Moore played it in the zone, but Plymouth with possession. Cross ice pass, bounces into the wall. Now into neutral zone, loose for Poulin. Poulin's cross ice pass for Bateson. Bateson in the middle for Moore, just out of his reach. And the Flyers move it back in the West Michigan zone. Rocco over for Poulin. Poulin behind the net. Over for Rocco, pressured. Tied up in the wall. Rocco up the near side wall through the air. Point man has control. Shot in on Jabrocki, a save. This one whacked out on the near side wall, but held in by the point. Moores holds it up there. Bateson with a stick on it, clears the zone. Flyers chase after it. Bateson chipped it in the zone. Moore after it. Moore in the corner, now behind the net. Drops it for Ayler. Ayler on the wall, pass through the air. Kuhn from the blue line, down low. Bateson with a shot, and that's going to be covered by the Flyer goaltender. Rocco in on center with Poulin and Warman. Rocco into the corner, pressed into the wall, moves it up the far side wall. Plymouth tried to out it. Hohendorf tried to hold it in, comes out to neutral, played back in by West Michigan. Plymouth from the far side corner, off the back wall. Now the near side, Kuhn holds it up. Warman plays it in deep, goaltender with a glove on it for the whistle. Rocco wins the draw, back to Kuhn. Kuhn plays it in towards the net, bouncing puck loose in front. Played behind the net. Flyers with possession. Puck played out, Flyers press it ahead. Flyers now with a break. Good back check by Rocco. Played up the wall. Flyers from the point position, shot knocked down by Kuhn. Played behind the net, Hohendorf up the far wall for Poulin in the feet. Poulin clears it to Bidwarman. Bidwarman across the red line and dumps it in. Flyers with possession. Oh, nice job by Poulin. Got a stick on it, play it in deep. Into the feet. Smilinich at the wall. Holds it at the feet. In to help is Moore. In the feet. Smilinich banged it in deep. Behind the net, Flyers there. Outlet pass off a skate, right to their own player. Good stick by Hooper. Moore with the loose puck. Trying to find Smilinich from behind. Lucas carries it ahead, chip down low. Flyers from behind their goal, Finnerty on him. Flyers will reverse, come out this side. Finnerty again pressuring. Flyers reverse it behind the net, far corner, up the wall with it. Into neutral zone. Timpey racing back, Flyers down low. Good job by Timpey, pushes it into the corner. Pass out in front, off a stick, and that'll come out of the zone. Flyers with possession. Cross ice pass, off a stick, Timpey, and banged in by the Flyers. Luke Hooper behind his own goal. Hooper's pass, far side, out of the reach of Smilinich. Good pool shot. Icing though, whistled. Jake Martzke on the dot. Berto and Mitchell as line mates. Timpey with the stick on it, gets it to Berto. Berto drives it in, over from Martzke on the far side. Martzke in the corner with it, feeds a pass back to the point. Hooper. Hooper shot in towards net, blocked by the goaltender and held for a whistle. Rocco and Carson Poulin come out on defense. Martzke, Berto, and Mitchell up front. Jake Martzke on the offensive zone draw. Plymouth plays it off the wall. Poulin played it back. Now to neutral zone with it. Plymouth 2-on-1. Plymouth down low, a shot disrupted by Rocco and into the back net. On comes Timpey and Hooper on defense. Face-off played behind the net. Plymouth into the corner with it. Now back behind the net. Martzke goes down. Played off the side of the net. Hooper with a stick on it into the corner. Mitchell's there. Mitchell. Pass long range for Martzke out of his reach. Icing waved off. Goes deep. Berto's going to be there. Berto from behind the net. Berto out in front, a shot off the goalie. Mitchell played it behind the net. Berto's there. Into the corner, now out to the point, Timpey. Timpey gets a grip, shot goes wide. Puck played out far side wall, Martzke, backhand off the wall, Plymouth there. They'll clear to neutral. Hooper's there, dumps it in, cross ice deep. Delayed offsides, cleared. Puck played into the West Michigan zone as Plymouth gets a change. Mitchell across mid-ice. Mitchell taken into the wall, cleared by the Flyers, dumped in on net. Flyers with possession. And we get a penalty here, delayed call. Touched up by West Michigan. Ethan Berto's going to go for a holding call. Moore, Bateson, Hooper, and Timpey on the penalty kill. Here with 9:36 left in the third period. Behind the net, Hooper wraps a hard one around the wall. That'll go length of the ice on the penalty kill. Goaltender settles it. Flyers from behind their own goal. Pass out to the near side. Now a cross ice pass that goes long, and we'll get an icing whistle. Good Warman, Ayler, Timpey, and Hooper. Plymouth possesses behind their own net. Now they break it out on the near side. Carrying out of their zone, pass near side, breaking it in the West Michigan zone. Dumped in the corner, Timpey's there. Good Warman there to help. Plymouth comes out with it, taken away by Ayler. Ayler across the blue line, sends it far side. Plymouth cycles it back in their own end. Now they'll break it forward on the power play. Plymouth carries it in near side. Pass back to the point. Pressured by Budwarman. Pass to the top of the zone, now far side. Pass in the middle, a shot goes wide. Plymouth with a loose puck behind the net. Ayler disrupts the pass out in front, loose out to the point. Near side. Shot in on Jabraki goes wide. Puck sent to the near corner. Timpey's there. He'll send it length of the ice. Flyers with it in their own end, behind their net. After it is Poulin. Flyers carry it to the middle, now to the near side. Back in the West Michigan zone, pressure by Kuhn. He'll stop at the wall, pass back to the near side point, cross point. Down on the circle, a shot's deflected, rebound in front. Poulin with a stick on it, behind the net for Kuhn. To Poulin at the wall. Poulin's pass through the middle, picked off by the Flyers. Poulin gets it back. Now try to feed a pass to Bateson. Goes long, Flyers with possession. Berto's out of the box, 5-on-5 hockey. Flyers bring it back in the West Michigan zone. Berto pressuring into the corner. Flyers on the near side corner. Kuhn using the body. Flyers pass back to the point. Shot goes wide of Jabraki. Bounces to the far side wall. After it is Hohendorf. Flyers in the corner with it. Flyers. Now Poulin with a stick on it. Gets it to Hohendorf. Now Hohendorf comes out with it off the wall for Poulin, or Berto. Flyers send it behind their own net. Bateson's there in the corner. Flyers move it back behind their net. Cross pass far side. Off the change comes Rocco. Smilanich tried to clear the zone, held in, but Lucas gets it back and clears. Flyers with possession. Pass far side. In the zone, Smilanich up the wall, Poulin for Rocco and cleared. Puck is loose in the Flyers zone. Now they've got possession. Pass near side, Rocco with a stick on it, sends it back. Flyers in their own end, now break it up the neutral zone. Flyers had it taken away by Poulin. Poulin trying to chip around. Flyers off the referee and into the West Michigan zone. Down low with it, Flyers. Rocco pushed it into the back wall. Sends it over to the near side. Up the wall, point man. Played it back to the wall, into the corner, Rocco. He gets tied up. Flyers there, send a pass back to the point. Cross ice to the far side point. Now a dump in behind the net. Flyers there again. Now to the near side corner. Rocco defending. Flyers loosen it up. Pass jumps the stick and moves out to neutral. After it's Finnerty. Finnerty with a skate on it. Flyers though clear the zone. Rocco in his own end. Rocco, long range pass for Finnerty in the feet. Keeps control though. Finnerty over for Poulin. Poulin in the middle. Knocked down by Finnerty. Driven into the corner. At the wall, and the Flyers out it. Icing's waved off as Timpey has to play. Timpey behind his own goal. Pass up the wall for Smilich. Picked off by the Flyers. Loose in the middle. Down low, Jabrocki will get a glove on it for a whistle. Just not putting anything together today. This West Michigan. Martzke comes out with Rocco and Mitchell. Hooper and Timpey on D. Martzke wins the draw to Hooper. Hooper hard around the wall, near side for Mitchell. Held up there by the Flyers. Flyers pull it out down low. A shot saved by Rocco. This one moves out to neutral zone. Flyers can't dump it back in. Rocco holds it at the red line. Mitchell in to help. Mitchell gets control, carries it ahead, rubbed off the puck, but Mitchell pushes forward. Mitchell down low, he scores! Bryce Mitchell with a nice rip top shelf. And West Michigan gets on the board with 3:44 left in the third period. Martzke, Mitchell, and Rocco up front. Timpey and Hooper on defense. Puck played back into the Flyers' end. Flyers wrap it behind their own net. Puck dribbles out. Mitchell in to help. Mitchell collapses in the corner, but the Flyers send it back to the near side. On the breakout, Timpey in neutral zone. Timpey drives it in. Shot in on net. Gloved for the whistle. Ayler, Bateson, and Bedwarman come out for the offensive zone draw. Tied up in the feet. Now moved out by the Flyers. Hooper gets a stick on it. Sends it back towards the Flyers' end. Ayler's going to pick it up. Ayler down low, a shot, and that's gloved for the whistle. Miles Ayler on the face-off. Puck sent in the corner. Kicked back in by Hooper. Now cleared by the Flyers. Deep. Icing arms up. And we'll bring it back. Moore, Rocco, and Martzke come out. Hooper and Timpey on defense. West Michigan in the feet. Puck in the feet, now played by the Flyers behind their own goal. Back out the far side. On the breakout. Hooper contests in neutral zone. Timpey gets a stick on it. Plays it back. Flyers, though, with possession, high off the glass. Hooper knocks it down. In the feet. Flyers can't dump it in. Now it's in, but Rocco gets to chase. Tyler Rocco. Wrapped around Jabrocki. Hooper back for Timpey. Timpey on the stick of Rocco over for Martzke. Martzke drives it in. Dropped it for Moore in the feet. Loose puck, Timpey played it in towards net. Loose on the corner. Martzke tried to find it. Played back into the corner. Up the near side wall with it. Held up by Rocco. Moore's there as well. Rocco keeps it on the wall, gets it to Moore. Moore's shot wide, and that'll come out of the zone. Hard after it is Hohendorf. Into the corner, Plymouth with possession. Cross ice pass near side, Plymouth into the corner, Hohendorf pressuring. Taken out by Moore, gets it to Rocco. Rocco, first Martzke. Martzke dumps it in deep, he'll come off for a change. Plymouth skates it out. Puck knocked up in the air, Smilich after it. Clear to neutral zone, but Kuhn is there and dumps it in deep. Puck bounces off the back wall. Berto's in with Smilich and Mitchell. Puck played behind the net, now wrapped up the far side wall, Hohendorf. Hohendorf trying to hold it in, comes out to neutral zone. Flyers bring it ahead. Empty net shot and they score. Berto, Moore, and Smilich up front. Puck played in deep, 4-1, less than a minute left. Behind the net, Flyers. Put a backhand, Mitchell's gonna hold it in from the point, shot on goal, save. Flyers out it high off the glass. Icing will be whistled. .34 seconds left in the third. Good Warman, Finnerty, Poulin, and Rocco. Flyers break it out into the West Michigan zone. Behind the net, Poulin. Taken away by Poulin, up the wall, held up by the point. Comes out of the zone, but back into neutral zone, Finnerty. Taken off his stick. Tied up in the feet, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Comes out, and that'll do it. Game 2 in the books. West Michigan drops to the Plymouth Flyers, a 4-1 final. So West Michigan will play their third and final game tomorrow at 4:30 back in Jackson against the Michigan Legacy. Watch online. Thanks. Have a great rest of your Friday.